While working with US supermarket chain Safeway late in the first decade of this century, a young Prashant Parmeshwaran witnessed Peruvian quinoa exploding in popularity to achieve superfood status in the country. Taking cue from this trend, Parmeshwaran asked himself if there was a way to make ancient millets like ragi, jowar, and bajra relevant and popular in India again. Thus was born millet based breakfast cereal and snack brand Soulful, which Parmeshwaran started in 2011 upon returning to India. Before being acquired by Tata Consumer Products in 2021, Soulful had placed itself as a niche brand with a strong focus on reinventing millets in a modern format. With a turnover of 39 crore rupees in FY20, Soulful was reaching over 12,000 outlets by establishing a strong presence in select urban markets. Soulful is among the several small brands with unique product propositions that have become targets for established FMCG companies. These are largely digital first D2C or direct to consumer companies that bypass the conventional method of multi tier distribution structure, enabling faster go to market speed and greater control over customer data and experience. Over the past 5 years, legacy players have made a slew of investments in D2C startups. Marico has acquired men's grooming brand Beardo, beauty brand Just Herbs, and breakfast brand True Elements. Similarly, Imami acquired vegan cosmetics brand Brillare Science and grooming brand The Man Company. It recently picked up a minority stake in nutrition company True Native. Colgate Palmolive and Reckitt both hold minority stakes in Bombay Shaving Company, whereas Wipro Consumer Care has invested in the Ayurveda company. ITC has invested in baby and mother care brands Mother Sparsh and Milo.
I think the emergence of D2C brands or smaller niche brands is something which one needs to recognize because it has happened more rapidly in the recent past. From the emergence of the e-commerce space, it allows smaller brands to actually reach to scale and visibility faster. Any startup brand finds it difficult to find shelf space on established retailers' shelves. So a digital platform actually allows them to reach out to their customers and even particularly to a certain segment of customers more directly and faster. That allows them to build to a certain scale. And then that segment, perhaps, which was earlier not interesting to a mainstream FMCG company because it was too small or it was, it would require a special effort or a particular kind of capability which they didn't have, that becomes interesting. So for them to inorganically then to acquire a brand which has been in the market for just a few years is a viable proposition. The more you see this happening, with the emergence of more brands coming in, it's now much more of a possibility for an established player to create a portfolio of brands. Earlier, there were very, very few brands which actually could create a reasonable footprint, whether regional or national, a reasonably large footprint. Today, there are more of those. So I think that's why you see a lot of acquisitions happening.
Incumbent players are either acquiring prominent D2C brands or choosing the organic route of launching their own brands online and building their own D2C platforms to reduce their reliance on marketplaces. Marico is working on a house of brands strategy by creating a portfolio of D2C companies through a mix of organic and inorganic routes. Meanwhile, Dabur estimates that its online-only D2C brands will cross 100 crore rupees in sales this fiscal. ITC currently sells over 700 products through its D2C store platform. D2C brands are estimated to become a $60 billion industry by FY27, growing at a CAGR of about 40%. At present, D2C is a $12 billion market. Institutional funding is helping D2C brands scale rapidly, with several of them crossing the 100 crore rupee revenue mark within 3 to 5 years of launch. But what does this say about the ability of legacy FMCG companies to innovate?
So it's in the nature of large companies to attend to business as usual, more than look out for innovation. Large companies always, the energies, the effort, the resources are more into harnessing what already exists rather than trying to look at new things. That's not to say that large companies don't innovate, they do. But the fact is that a startup founder would only have started up because they're doing something different. If they were doing business as usual, they wouldn't survive. So there is a unmet need. There is a segment which is unaddressed. there's a product which they create from scratch, which is different from what's available in the market. I think that's the whole logic of a startup. So that applies to FMCG as well. And it really is a question of then time and potential to scale where it becomes of interest to a larger company.
Yes. Analysts say the strong background of founders of D2C companies, who are well educated and armed with work experience in reputed firms, is an important factor in the success of such brands. The boom of D2C brands was supported by the development of logistics partners and the adoption of online payments. Improving digital penetration and high growth in e-commerce will help going ahead. D2C brands in the beauty and personal care and food and refreshment space focus on niche ingredients and products targeted at subcategories ignored by established brands. Attractive packaging and strong digital marketing capabilities are key tailwinds for D2C brands. Such startups wanting to scale beyond a point will see their interests align with mainstream companies looking to enter new segments. All of this would mean that more and more D2C brands will present themselves as potential acquisition opportunities for top traditional companies.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.